Warning! The following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Geoguessr. We have a Pro League, which we haven't been able to play in a few weeks now. For those of you who don't know, we were sick for 2 weeks, back for a week, and then our motherboard died, and we didn't have a computer for about 2 weeks. So, we missed about the last 4 or so, which should have dropped us out, but it didn't. So we kind of want to keep where our standings are, which is currently 23rd. I feel like if we were able to play those other 4 legs, and we didn't miss a single one, we might have been in the top 10. But we're not actually that good at this game. It's just consistency. We're almost at the end of this. This should be done by the end of the year, which is crazy when you think about it. And we have a balanced world by Debre for 4 minutes. Now, I don't know if we're going to spend all 4 minutes on each round. We're probably going to play, figure out what we can, move on with ourselves. This is pretty telling. We do have blue on the license plates. It is Gen 2 coverage. Can we get out of the Gen 2 coverage? I mean, it doesn't have to be. Vilkuta and a Josia. We also have Turvolesetsi, whatever the fuck that is. We do have a boss, but it doesn't look like it has any good information on it, except for Porin Lindardu, whatever the fuck that means. And we were able to find outside of Gen 2 coverage, which is honestly the fucking best. You don't want to be in the Gen 1 and the Gen 2s. You know, you want to go your own way. Sakohista? Osamista? Alright. Yeah. We'll just pretend that we know what all of this means. I think it's Estonia. Basically. We don't really have anything else. I'm trying to think if that is what the language actually is. And I think it is. This might be pointing us to something. Red 8 and red 23. Here's 5, here's 2, here's 20, here's 9, here's 10. Here's 92. That's a huge dump. We're looking for 8 still. 3, 92, 2, 6. Why would there be a 9? Yeah, here's 8. Italauto? Okay. Still don't see 23 anywhere. And 8 doesn't really go that far. Well, shit. We'll see what this says. And again, I don't really have any reason. 2 and 11? Well, here's 2 and 11. And that's turning to Mama Nanakua. So I can't pronounce any of these. We might be able to find one. Here's Metzrane. But here's 8, which goes this way. Here's 2. So we gotta be near Tallinn. If we return to start, I don't see any road signs from where we are. But if we go this way, it's a different way. And we might be able to find something that's a little different than what we just found. I think we actually come out on the same road. This says Uhilatauto? Yeah, fuck it. Do we just guess where we are? We might, because then this side is the same. Here's 8. Do we see Uri anywhere? Uriatato? Could be any of these, because these don't really look like they're marked very well. Or we might be closer to 2, which would bring us to 11. And maybe some of those were these districts? We're just guessing right here. And it ends up being Finland in Pori. See, here's why I didn't want to guess Finland. Usually, you see flags when you're in Finland. Estonia, you don't see flags very often. I don't know. And the language is similar. It's not the same, but it is similar. Well, that just didn't work out. Well, we get unofficial coverage, so we're going to have to send this to Debre. Pan Asia Bank, yellow license plates. We have probably in Sri Lanka. How does this fucking happen? It feels like it's a city. I don't know. Yeah, we got out of it. So what happens? Yeah, we can go back in now. Here's the Sri Lankan car. There's the front. There's the back. You can see with the red. We also had the language, which we saw earlier. We might be able to find a town name that says Horz something. Horz. I think that might be enough for us to kind of find it. It feels like it's large enough that we could be able to see it from this distance. As long as we maybe read this right. Horz something. Horzon. Horzon. Which I don't see. Which is great for me. That means I'm blind today. Where do we go then? Because that's like the only clue we fucking have. Project reports. Harana. H-O-R. No, that's Harana Road. But what? Ral Hamalana? And then we would have the road we're on if we're able to find the fucking town name. But it starts with an R and it's like Ral. R, unless it's... I fucking hate this shit. Rathmanpura? And Rathmalana. Really? Ratnampura, that's one of them, right? Even though it's missing the H. Is that enough? Because this is different, that one. So it might be nearby. And this one's missing the H, but that could just be a translation error. But I don't see the other one. So let's see if we can't find Harana Road in Ratnapura. Nope. Even if we could, half of the roads aren't even fucking labeled. We are northwest to southeast. This makes sense. We have a cream house and a Pan-Asian bank, which might be the People's Bank. I know they're different, but it might work. This might be where we are. Nope. Ends up being in a town called Harana. Yeah, there's the Pan-Asian. RC's crushing it. 22 miles isn't that bad. But why did one say Harana as a town name, and the other said Harana as a street name? On two signs, not very far away from each other. While the other one said Rathmanpura, which is where we actually found first. Gen 3. Yellow dividers. And I feel like that's going to be the Mexican pole. That's the new fucking phrase for it. RC started saying it in the chat. They're, what, octagons? And we call it Mexicans. Wooden poles, and they're tapered. Maybe not Mexico. We do have the kilometer signs. We do have the yellow divider. We have Pere instead of Alto. So it's probably actually going to be Brazil. Just based on the feel. We can't go the way we want, which is perfect for us. Which means we need to find a fucking phone number. I would like to be able to go the way I want. But it doesn't look like they have coverage over here. So sometimes you're able to manipulate the way you're able to go. This time we're not. So we need to go north because I believe we're going south. Or does this feel like the same exact way we just went? No, there's no way it's the same. A 3-2 area code, so it goes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3 would probably be this area, which is just middle of Brazil. That's not actually going to help us. We might get lucky if we could find a town name, and we went the same fucking way. We got to go south. So we got to go away from the town. But we did find a phone number that we missed the first time, and that's pretty important. Because if we wouldn't have found that phone number, we would be taking a shot in the dark. Now, it probably doesn't matter. RC is going to get a perfect score anyway. We don't care. It's us trying to stay in the top 25 at this point. We missed 4 leagues. Well, 4 legs. And that's just recently. We've probably missed a total of like 6 or 7. So it's not exactly like we could have placed in the top. But we miss legs pretty often, whether we forget about them or because of exterior factors, like not having a computer or being sick. So hopefully we're able to find something cool from this. But I doubt it. You know, we've already looked for 2.5 minutes. We've already spent more than half of our time. What do we have to show for it? A phone number and what we think is Brazil. Fuck it. Ends up being southeast more. Yeah. Do we have a rift? We don't. It feels like that general area. We have bollards, but fuck bollards. They don't matter. Could it be Greece? Nope. We do have blue on one side. We do have the yellow warning signs. We are in that general area of the Balkans? The Balkans. But you guys know how great I am with bollards. I know they're incredibly helpful, super useful. Everyone should learn them. But they're fucking painted sticks in the fucking ground. And 3 of them are the most common, and then you have to figure out the rare ones. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. I'd rather learn telephone poles in the language. You know, some of them pretty easy to recognize. France, super easy to recognize. Iceland, super easy to recognize. But that doesn't mean any of us really want to. Now, we're at the Olive Beach Residence, wherever the fuck that is. Again, it's whatever. I don't really care. But at least give us a fucking sign, right? I don't want to have to rely on bollards. I know I should, but I don't want to. Reminds me of Bhutan. Maybe we should just guess there, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's not Turkey, from what I could tell. Although, actually, it is Turkey. And that's at 0. It starts with a 2. So that would put us on the west if it is, in fact, Turkey. Which means these are Turkish bollards. They're building on the fucking hills. Makes sense. The English doesn't really make sense unless it's a touristy area. And that is the most Turkish I've ever seen. So, I don't know where in Turkey we are, but we were able to figure out it's Turkey. We're on a body of water. Makes sense to be that. However, it's to our south. So, would this be closer? Over here, maybe? And then we're looking across the Sea of Marmara? That could make sense. Apparently it doesn't. Ends up being a bullshit island over by Izmir. But again, we kind of gave up. We had some pretty decent guesses, but they're not good enough. Blue on the license plates. It looks like it's in English. It says the Grand Talasso Hotel. For some reason, whenever I see Grand anything, I always think of the Canaries. That looks like the flag of Spain, which would make sense. And that's Rua and Sansk, Mexico. So let's go check this bullshit. Can we find San. I can't even pronounce that. It makes no sense to me. Sansnexco. Yeah, not even gonna try. I don't know how to pronounce two X's. I don't think I've ever had a. I don't know. Are there any English words that have two X's in it? Like I don't physically know how to pronounce that. Like I see the San and I'm like, okay, San, and then Zexo maybe. Fuck if I know. I really don't know. It feels maybe like it could be the Canaries, but maybe we have to check mainland as well. Were we near water? We were. Water to our east. Kind of had like this cove. Definitely Spanish. Yeah, San Exo. Where the fuck would San Exo be? I don't see it around these islands. That would be something we would see pretty easily. And for some reason, the Canaries just don't have it. So, if it's not the Canaries, it has to be the mainland. And if it's not the mainland, then fuck whatever this location is. It is a Debre location. So, with water to our east, we gotta find Senexo somewhere. Right? And luckily, we don't really have to check the northern coast, which probably means it's going to be on the northern coast. But we're looking for Senexo. That's all we're looking for. If we can find it, we can find it. If we can't, we can't. And then we just get really pissed off and say, well, why would the fuck would it be there? And then we move on with our lives, right? Like, it doesn't hold up into the next fucking game. Which, speaking of, we weren't able to get a video out yesterday because the recording got corrupted. So, when you check on this video, you're going to see a link for next Wednesdays. And that next Wednesday is going to be when we're back from our vacation. So, I'll make sure I put it up on a few videos, but that is going to be where you'll find that link. We found Senexo. We found it. We are on a road going by the beach. This is the road we're on. You might have just got a perfect score. We did get a perfect score. I love how I said I don't have to check the north. And then I said, but that means it's probably going to be the north. And you know where it fucking was? The north. We got one perfect score. We tried for one round. That's pretty good. RC's in first place, 11 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm seeing if there's any cheaters. It doesn't really look like it. 8 minutes, that's a little fast. But we don't have any, like, 40 seconds. We're not even placing. No, there we are. We placed in 51st. But it looks like most people spent time on this. Which is nice to see. Because we until now, we essentially didn't have a way to check and make sure people weren't cheating. We could assume that people were cheating, right? You know, RC spending 20 minutes, well, 11 minutes and 16 seconds. That's believable. Speedrunner. D. Martin, 20 minutes. That's full time. 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 16 minutes. You know, if we come in and we see like 30, 40 seconds, you fucking cheated. But that's going to be where we call it. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry that I'm not here this weekend, but there should be plenty of content. You will be able to see stuff starting tomorrow, Friday. We do have the other pro leagues recorded, and you will be seeing them on their respective days. So Saturday you'll see a Geoguessr Pro fucking Pro League at 11 a.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. So look forward to that. And then we also have the Stay Quarantine Safe Pro League that will be uploaded Monday around noon, because it's done at around, I believe, 11:20, because it didn't account for daylight savings. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and bye-bye.